Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'll be teaching you how to make this yoke and also this yoke. So if this is something you are interested in, just keep watching, get ready, and let's start. In my previous video I made a tutorial on how to draft a bustier with yoke. If you haven't seen the video, please go ahead, just go and see the video so you can understand. So this is the yoke from the previous pattern drafting. So I'll just take the yoke and I'll transfer it to a new pattern paper. So this is the yoke, then I'll place it on this. I already have a seam allowance at the upper part over there. Yes, I already have the seam allowance there. So the lower part over there is the seam allowance for the joining at the lower part. So now this is the new pattern. Then I'll measure 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. Then the midpoint, I'll measure it, which is 3 inches. Then I'll locate the midpoint, that's 1.5. So on that 1.5, I'll just rule like 4.5 inches, like 4 to 4.5 inches. So now I'll measure 4 inches at that part over there. I want to extend my line because it is not long enough, so I'm just trying to locate the midpoint over there. So now I will slant the line from that point down there. And I'll also do the same for that part too. So from that point I just rule a line. If you are watching this video, you will definitely understand. So now I'm using my French cuff to make it curvy a little, just a little. You will see the difference is not even that much, just to make it a little bit curvy, so it won't be just like a triangle. So I'm just using my French cuff to make a curve at that part over there. So that's the keyhole we've made. So now for the neckline, I'll measure 3 inches and I'll measure 5.5. I'm making a V kind of neckline. You can change it to, you can make a round neck depending on what you really want. So I'm just making a V neck. I don't want it to be the V to be very sharp, so I just want it to be a little bit bent, so it will look like U, but it will still look like V. So that's what I'm just trying to do. That's why I'm using this curvy part of my French cuff. So then I will connect the points together like that. Then for my shoulder slanting, I'll measure 1 inches over there. Then I'll slant from that 3 inches here. I'll just slant it down. So I'll just slant it like that. So now I'll just cut out my pattern. I'll just cut out my pattern. Please be careful while cutting it out so you won't make mistakes. So this is the yoke after opening it up. Then for my fabric, I'll be cutting it out of my fabric now. I'll be cutting it out. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please, what are you waiting for? Kindly hit the subscribe button, drop a lovely comment, share with your friends, your sewing friends, your fashion designers, designer friend, so they can learn 1 or 2 things from this video. So this is it after cutting out. Then I went ahead to cut my lining too. So I'm using the doll face for the lining. So just a doll face to turn the yoke. So it's the same thing as the fabric. So now just go ahead and open it up, right side facing each other. Yes, right side facing each other like that. Then I will take it to my sewing machine, then I will sew. I'm just trying to place it on each other very well. So just place it on each other and I'll just go ahead and sew. So after sewing, this is what I have. Then I'll be notching those curvy part over there so it can turn out really well. So I'll just be notching it over there. I'll be notching it. Then after that, I'll turn it. It may seem quite hard to turn, but it's possible. You can turn it. So it may look quite hard, but just gently. But if you do it gently, you will definitely turn it. So this is me turning my yoke. So after ironing, this is what it looks like. After ironing, this is what it looks like. If you want the keyhole to be wider than that, you can go ahead and extend it, but for me, I don't want it to be too wide, but I want something like that, but I don't want it to be too wide. That's why I didn't make it to be wider than this. So now, from the pattern I told you earlier that I drafted, so I've went ahead to sew my bustier. So it's just time for me to fix the yoke to it. So I'll mark out the midpoints. I'll notch the midpoints just like I've done. Then I'll notch my yoke to the midpoint of the yoke. I'll just go ahead and notch it too. Then I'll place it right side facing each other too, just like that. Then I'll pin it down. It is very important to pin so that you know what you are doing. So I'll just pin it down there. Then I will use my lining to cover it like that, and I will also pin. So for the lining, the right side of the fabric and the right side of the lining will be facing each other. So after sewing, this is what I have. So I'll just go ahead and remove all the pins I have in between them. You can top stitch if you want to top stitch, and if you don't want to top stitch, it is fine. You can just make sure you iron it out. So now this is me turning it out. Then I'll go ahead and iron it. So after ironing, this is what it looks like. For this bustier, it is not padded. That is why it is looking like this. I didn't pad it at all because the person doesn't want it padded, so I didn't pad it. So now let's make the second yoke. So after drafting this pattern, just like the first one, you add your seam allowance to the lower part of the new yoke pattern. So for this, we'll start by measuring our neckline. I'll measure 3 inches. Then the shoulder slope like that. Then I'll connect the 2 lines, the 2 points. I'll connect the 2 points just like that. So now from that point, I'll just draw a slant line down to the edge, just a slant line down there like that. And I'm using my marker to draw it out again. So now for this lower part, I'll measure it. So me measuring my own, I have 8 inches. So I'll locate the midpoint, which is 4. And on that midpoint, I'll go 1 inch to the right, 1 inch to the left. So 1 inch to the right and 1 inch to the left. So on that 4 inches point, you measure 4 inches up also. Then you draw a straight line. You draw a straight line just like that. And then I'm trying to explain again. So you measure this, which is 8 inches. Is 8 inches. Then you locate the midpoint, which is 4 inches. You go up by 4 inches. Then to the right by 1 inches and to the left by 4 inches. So that's the 4 inches. Then to the right by 1 inches and to the left by 1 inch. Then you connect the lines just like the way I'm doing. So for this, I'm not making it to be curvy a little. I'm just making it to be like this shape that I'm drawing. I'm not making it to be a little bit curvy. So I'm making the rectangle and the triangle just like that. So now after sewing, you will know that there will be like a 1-inch gap at that front. That's why I didn't add any seam allowance to that part, because after sewing it will reduce by 1 inch. That is half by this side, half by the other side. So I'll just go ahead and trim out my pattern paper. So after opening up, this is what we will have. So after sewing, it will reduce by half inches at that side. Yeah, it will reduce. So there will be a 1 inch gap there. So I went ahead to cut it out on my fabric. So I used the same thing for this one. So I cut out the same thing for the facing and the main fabric, for the lining and the main fabric. So now I'll just go ahead and sew with ½ inch. After sewing, this is what I have. Then I'll be notching it around so that it can turn easily. So I can turn it easily. I'll just be marking. I'll be notching it with my scissors. Then I will open it up. I'll turn it. This one is very easy to turn compared to the other one. Yes, so I'll just go ahead and turn the second one too. Then I'll go ahead and iron. So after ironing, this is what I have. So I'm just trimming out the rough edges there. So this is what I have. Let me know which of the yoke you like. Is it this one or the first one I made? Just drop a comment of which one you like and which one you'll be trying out. So this is the same bustier, but this one is padded. This is different from the first one. This one is padded. As you can see, the breast pad in it. So now I'll be notching it like that. Then at that notch, at that place I notch, I'll measure ½ inch to the right and ½ inch to the left. Then I'll be pinning my yoke from that point, from the point it's not from the notched point though, but from the ½ inch that I've marked by the side. That's when the pinning will start from. So the pinning will start from there and it will end at the armhole side. Then to start from the other side too, it's not from the notched point but from the ½ inch I measured over there. So you just pin, then you place your lining too on it, then you pin so that you can use it to turn it up. So after sewing, this is what I have. Sewing with ½ inch, that is what I have over there. So as you can see, the lining is kind of showing, so I'll just go ahead and stop stitch. Yeah, I'll just stop stitch and I'll be back. Then after stop stitching, I've ironed it out. So this is what it looks like after ironing. Yeah, this is what it looks like. As you can see, this one has a pad. This bustier has a pad. So if you haven't seen the video of how I made this bustier, please kindly check out my previous video, and I'll put the link in the description box in case you haven't seen the video. So this is the end of the tutorial. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you haven't liked this video, if you haven't commented, please kindly do so, and please like this video. Please and please and please like this video, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.